everyone, welcome to my channel Love Storyteller Tarot. My name is Jeanette and this is your love reading for the new moon in Cancer on the 23rd of June 2017. Big thank you to everybody who comments and subscribes. Welcome to my new subscribers and your emails. Thank you to the new clients. I really do appreciate it, and I'm grateful that you trust me to be your advisor, a big thank you to my regulars. You know who you are. And what else was I going to say? Oh yes, about the readings. Sometimes you get a reading and it's not always going to be what you want to hear. That's the whole purpose of them. It's about, sometimes there's subconscious stuff going on that you don't know about, and it will come up and show up in the reading, but it's there to be a support and to help you to move through something so that you can get to your heart's desire. And like I was saying about the visionary board, it's like you can put what you want on the board, your heart's desire, etc. But then, that's consciously what you want. But then your subconscious stuff comes up, you see. And that's what you've got to work with to be able to create what it is that your heart's desire is. And sometimes you can't see that. That's why it's called subconscious. And this card, which represents the Cancerian, the Chariot, is all about that. It's, you've got the black, which is the feminine, which is the unconscious, something that's unconscious, and then you've got the white, which is the masculine, which is the conscious mind. So like I was saying, you're consciously you're wanting something, but there could be another part of you that's unconscious that's in conflict with that. And you're not aware of it, and and that's what we need to look at when we're looking at our relationships. And so for the readings, there are going to be times that things that were hidden or that you couldn't see or that you might have been in denial about shows and comes to the surface. It's whether you're going to react to it or respond to it. Or otherwise, for the readings, it's to confirm your own knowingness and not to give your power away. But either way, the readings will be the way they need to be. Like I've always said, you're the only one that knows everything that's going on in your life, and it's about it being clues to trigger things within you, so that you can heal and become clear channels for your own intuition. But this new moon is like new beginnings. So whatever was happening in that Sagittarius full moon, which was about truth, there was something there going on in that Sagittarius full moon, something to do with somebody in the past, and it was the masculine energy, and something, somebody, because the fox was there, is not above playing tricks to get what they want, so that's a form of manipulation. It could be that they're a good person, they've got a good heart, but they're allowing their past and their childhood and the patterns to play out in getting what they want, which is manipulation, and that will never work. That will backfire. So because it's not surrounded, it's not on a foundation of honesty. So there was something about that, and it was saying about the red flags. Be cautious. This is the 6th of June that I'm doing this, so a couple of days time we're coming up to that Sagittarius full moon. So remember, that will play out until up to this new moon, which will be the 23rd, and then this will kick in. So it's about working with the cycles. But yeah, so that was about paying attention to the red flags, because there was something here in the future. So maybe from that, around that full moon up until this new moon, that line there in that reading might happen and might take place, which then gives you a heads up how to respond to it instead of react to it. But yeah, this is all about power, your own power, and you know, he's got the magician's wand here. So the magician is included in it because it's very yellow, and the magician card is very yellow also. So this is about your solar plexus, your power. It's about around your emotions. You know, the Cancer is the Cancerian family. It's to do with family, to do with emotions. So this is all about self-confidence and, you know, your will. This is about free will, and being able to be disciplined. It's all about being disciplined and focused in getting your heart's desire, and balancing. You know, it's not all one way. It's not all letting the subconscious rule your mind, which is when you're like asleep, you're sleepwalking and you're not being in charge, and you can't go all the way over to the conscious mind and not recognize there's subconscious stuff playing out. So it's all about being disciplined and balanced, this card. It's a very ambitious card, you know, and not standing your ground, but because it's moving forward, and it's all about moving forward, but it's about removing obstacles and adversity, and you know, and that's a bit like the bit, because this is a golden elephant, but this is about like in Eat, Pray, Love, you know, where it's the statue, Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, and this is very much this card, overcoming adversity, because it's the victory card. It's number 7. It means on the right path. And you know, in Eat, Pray, Love, the elephant does turn up from the circus, and it's symbolic because it represents family, very much about family and loyalty, and around that. So this is what you're going to be dealing with around the new moon, overcoming obstacles. So whatever was happening in that full moon, and if there was this tension and argument around the Knight of coins, pentacles here, then you know, something will be showing itself. But that's the energy you're working with all around home, family, depending what house it is in for you in your charts. But this is very much connected to the High Priestess also, because it's the black and the white, the 2 pillars, and which is around wisdom. So, but let's see what the dynamics are playing out with relationships around this new moon, because it's about new starts, because I think something to do with Gemini, to do with the fixed star. I don't know, I'm not an astrologer, but there's something to do with the fixed star or something in Gemini, and communication again, you know, and it's about taming these, you see. It's about, it's also sexuality comes into this card, but it's about taming that energy and not going in 2 directions. And on a mundane level, it's very much, because it's about movements, it can be about a vehicle. So a vehicle, travel, very much around that. So it could be to do with travel. But let's see what the dynamics are that's playing out, as we haven't looked at this for a while. So personal myth. So you've got to watch your personal stories. You know, what story have you been telling yourself, and from a long time ago, and around love, around romance, because this is a bit like a knight here, but you know, it's a storybook. It's unconscious, like I said, it's unconscious. And my guides were just saying about the readings, and things are coming up that's been unconscious to the service, because that's what the New moon and full moon is all about, the full moon is all about something being made conscious, okay, so that you can balance these two. Something being made conscious that was unconscious, so that you can in the new moon make a fresh start, and their cycles, and they can be major or they can be minor, but yeah, something around personal myths, personal stories, and you know, because there's something about the happy ever after, the 10 of Cups in the Sag full moon, and maybe chasing rainbows, and it was about, you know, being realistic around love relationships. So because on a conscious level, unconscious level, there's fear because she's looking at him, but she can see a great big shadow behind him, which represents, you know, fear. And so it's based on trust. There's something around trust, around relationships and not trusting. But he's focused on her. He's looking at her. And the masculine tends to have the energy of knowing when they've met somebody that they want to be with. And they can be quite cut and dry about that. They make a decision and that's it, and it's all guns blazing, unless it's the Knight of Coins, and then that's slow, somebody who's slow coming forward, you know, but otherwise it's the other knights are like more fierce, not fearful, fearless, and coming forward and asking somebody out on a date. But you've really got to be looking at what stories have you been telling yourself, and you can rewrite those stories. You can do it as a third person, and you know, if your past has been tragic and there's been trauma, and there's always trauma from past in some shape or form, because it's how the child saw it. As an adult, we might not think that was so traumatic, but it was how the child experienced it. And they're probably this, because that looks so big, so tall, and to a child, you know, I remember when I was a child and I was in a foster home, and you know, there was abuse going on there, and to me, that person, that foster parent, the man, he looked that big to me as a child, and very scary, and you know, but now when I saw him, when my children were young, and I saw him, I was taller than him, and you know, it's as though I took my power back. So that's what I'm saying about interpretations and perceptions and how you see something. So it's saying look at your personal myths, because some things are myths, and you've got to question things, and rewrite the story as the third person, and you know, say though there was once a little girl who was born into a family that didn't understand her, she had many gifts, etc, etc, and then put in the traumas and how you get over it. But yeah, on an unconscious level, there's personal myths being played out as to what's going on in your relationships, maybe blocking you or stopping you from moving forward. So, but the healing for this particular new moon, I'm going to go with the one that's hidden because it's the unconscious, is choices. So what they're saying, and 2 and 5, this is healing, you see, 2 and 5 is 7, which is the number of the Chariot, which is about taking your power back. You know, it's about free will, and I'm getting like in the Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon, and you know, he was insistent that he wanted to be with you know, that his partner, and that she was the right one for him. But the plan, the divine plan, and the chairman or something in the Book of Fate was saying no, they was meant to meet before at different stages in their past, and it was just the the residue of that. But you know, that's where he had his willpower. He knew what choice he wanted. And at the end they say, you know, the more you honor your free will and your choices, then maybe they won't have to intervene so much. So maybe there's a message there. But yeah, number 7 for a choice, and this is card 7, to bring that unconscious into the conscious mind and to work with both of them. It's not to dismiss that, it's maybe about to rewrite your story. So the healing is all about choices, and what I get with this card when I see it is, you know, we have a saying about you've made your bed, now lie in it. But for this card, it's not about that. It's saying, okay, you've made your bed, but you can change the sheets. So you can make another choice for yourself if you're not happy. You know, you're probably not happy because you've been going by your personal myth, your personal stories in love. And it's saying to heal, you need to take another path or make another decision for yourself. You don't have to stay in the situation you're in. So that's the healing and the gift that you get. I don't want to stay too long on that one. The gift that you get. Inspiration. So maybe there's been, you know, you're blocked via it being inspired or coming up with things, solutions. For those of you that write or in the healing arts, you may be a bit blocked with inspiration as to invent something new. Or what you need to invent is a new story for yourself. And stop telling yourself the old stories. You know, if you've been hurt in the past, and there's something around trust, and then not trusting somebody because she's so focused on the past, she's so focused on that big image there. So it's around images of around love, but you do get the gift of inspiration that allows you to be ambitious and to move forward in a way that's right for you. So let's see what the tarot cards want to say. Most important messages. But you know, here in the UK, it was 2 weeks ago we had the bombings in Manchester, and the children killed and maimed, and you know, and they put a concert on yesterday evening for you know, the victims around that, and then on the night before we had you know, terror again in the streets of London and stabbings. And but out of all that, my heart, I tell you, my heart has been, the emotions up and down, anger, sadness, experiencing all sorts of things. But I'll tell you, the love that I feel and the love that's coming out of the UK and being sent to the UK is just amazing. It's just like, in that sense, deleted what happened in that way on an energetic level. But how people have responded has been amazing. They haven't reacted, they've responded with love. And you know, it's one love, the message was, and all the stars, will.i.am, Katy Perry, and all of them, Take That, which is from Manchester, you know, has been so inspiring. And listening to the youngsters and saying, you know, we're not going to come from fear, we're going to come from love. And maybe that's a message in your love relationships because of this here, because that would be fear. And you know, to choose love, to write a story of love instead of fear that the child experienced. But yeah, and you know, it's called the United Kingdom for a reason, and there hasn't been, the United Kingdom has not been united. They've been, you know, Scotland, etc., Wales, and all wanting, of course, their independence, and England, and you know, and so there has been a separation in that sense, but you know, we've all joined together, and because that's what it's, you know, it's not called the United Kingdom for nothing. It's because it's about being united. Yes, have your own identification, your own, in your relationships, have your own identification, but you know, it's also about connection too, being with another, and loving another. So but my heart just, wow, the emotions, and just like, let's see what's going on. So we're something happening from that, you know, full moon in Sag. You've now gained strength. There's something you're feeling strong about. I mean, this is showing the feminine power on here. You know, she's strong. She's what she's been through is made a stronger person, and you know, she's standing her ground. She's saying, you know, I'm a different person now. I'm not going to be walked over. I'm standing in my power. This is very much a card of strength, and you know, feeling empowered, especially around the feminine, because she's feminine on here. This is all about work, around work, so there'll be something around work and detail, and maybe having to work into the night, or maybe working at night, because there's a book here, there's a book here, there's a book here. So maybe at night time is the better energy to work with healing, or if you're self-employed, or you know, like freelance, whatever, maybe working at night is when you'll get your ideas, because remember the inspiration card. But to get the inspiration, because remember this is about removing obstacles, ambition, willpower, adversity, coming out of adversity, whatever shape or form that is for you. It's the choice card that is the healing. You don't have to stay stuck in a certain situation. So if you're a writer, that might be, it's better to write at night time. Weave your magic at night time, because these are very much about magic cards. It's about work, and either you've come to a point where you know everything in that work, and you might be getting a bit bored with it, and you need to move on, maybe look for another job. I mean, they say this is an apprentice card, but I see the 3 more as it. But yeah, something to do with work, and to do with the Knight of Swords, King of Swords. So maybe he's a king showing up as mature, but the Knight is there also within him, of course, which even though he sat down, the Knight is somebody that's very, you know, whoosh, comes in and says what they need to say, but he's upright, so, and he's in the future, so maybe towards the end of June, beginning of July, that cycle to the next full moon, he will show up. He's under the air signs Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and you know, he does speak his truth, but he can be dissociated from his emotions a bit, but and he does make a good, somebody good to go to advice for business. So, and it is next to the work card, so it might be that for some of you, whether you're masculine or female. But yeah, there's been some form of doubt and worry and possible arguments in the past or from that full moon, which goes back to that night and the whip on that one. So yeah, that could represent that, but the feminine is a stronger person because of it, because remember, the stories unfold, and what story are we wanting to tell ourselves? So it's whether you want to react or respond to a situation, and it's around this Four of Pentacles again, around this Four of Coins, which is all about that holding on. And you can see that, and that's emotionally too, not just on a financial situation, but so that could be like arguments around money, around somebody, you know, being either working hard to save money, because we do have the 8, which is half, double the 4, and this is about working hard, put you know, really focusing, because remember, this card is all about focus and it's to do with family, focusing on either saving, but we'll get more cards on it to see what's going on. But this can be that there's been some arguments around that, and that's possibly what happened in that full moon with the Knight. This is somebody's either saving hard, or this is the Miser card. This is somebody who's holding on too tightly, working hard, saving it, and then holding on too tightly. There's something to do with this King of Swords. We've got the Hermit. So the King of Swords, because this is somebody, a wise soul, the next step. So maybe he's something to do with the next step, but he's upright, so it's positive. So it feels like this King of Swords is somebody who's reflecting, is going in and using the Hermit in a wise way. He's reflecting and really thinking about his next step, is what they're saying. But the heart of the matter is this holding on pattern, and that can be for the good, because there's times you have to save your money and you have to make a sacrifice to get something, you know, property or moving, or when you're having a child or whatever, you know, you need to have that. But yeah, there's been some form of separation to do with this, and maybe somebody's defense, maybe the feminine, if the masculine's trying to approach the feminine, but this is a card of strength, but it can also be defending. Depends how you're using that energy, really. Defending against, so won't let anybody into your arena, so to speak, around these doubts and feeling like humiliated. This card's very much about humiliation, and because it's somebody winning at something, one of the parties winning at something, and that is a separation. So in reverse, it's a separation. There's issues, there's problems in the relationship, so that's showing up as either the energy coming in or representing the past from that last full moon in Sagittarius. So there's a disconnect of some sort, like I said, about a choice. You can make another choice, you can change the sheets, you know, don't have to change the bed. You can change the sheets, metaphorically speaking. But yeah, that is a separation, to do with the separation, or issues in a relationship around happiness, you see, because this is about a wish fulfilled. This is about your heart's desire, getting what it is that you want and celebrating about it and feeling good about it. But and that could be that You know, it being in reverse is for some the right thing. Only you will know that. But this is something of enthusiasm, you see. It can be an enthusiastic message. So it could be from this King of Swords that's reflecting, going within and reflecting about the next step. And maybe the next step is, oh, right, well, I'm going to send a message. And it will be a message of passion, because it's fire. It will be a message of passion. It's to do with independence, because the female's there, the cat's there, the feminine, so it would be to do with independence. But there's sent and a message for your own happiness to send out. But we'll get some more cards. Well, something around the King of Pentacles in reverse, because that, right, he's okay with his money. He's generous, he's kind, he's supportive, he's loving, you know, because he's well off. He doesn't need anything. He's sat comfortable, he's sat pretty, and but in reverse he's not. He's the miser. He's being stingy around money, or about giving a gift and being supportive and helping others. When he's in reverse, he's not. He's in his shadow form and being stubborn, because it's very much around the Taurian, being stubborn, and around financial situations, and that's what's at the heart of the matter. So whether this king and this king is the same, I'm not too sure, but that's what's going, that's your subconscious, that's what's going on the unconscious. So maybe rethinking about him and how you perceive him or her, because it's about partnerships, this new moon. It's about bright ideas, so the inspiration, and starting partnerships, whether personal or business, you know, ventures. So it'll be different for everybody. So let's have a look, see what's going on. Ah, there you go. It goes back to what was happening there. So sometimes you have to go back and watch the reading before, if you haven't before, because the story does unfold. So something to do with the feminine that put her in defense, and some form of argument and disagreement has put the feminine into, made her stronger and put her into a what's it position of, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not just gonna go back into that, or I'm not gonna rush into something or agree to something, is what they're saying. Heart of the matter. Oh yeah, see, there's chatter, definitely chatter, possible gossip, nervousness, it's anxiety and worry. So someone in worrying, but we get some more cards out on the heart of the matter, you know, around finances, around money, around, do I have enough, do I want to share, and the work environment, because we've got that there, or leaving one position and going into another, you know, that might cut your salary by half. That might cut your salary by half, or something like that. Could be for some people, but it's to do with happiness. So that could be to do with the job, whether it's you or your partner or potential partner, and they're like, yeah, I might be more happier, but financially I'm going to lose out. So there's worry around that. That's probably caused, for those that you are coupled or married, long-term relationships, problems in the past, especially when you know, somebody's reached their potential in a certain situation at work, and it's like, oh no, I need to do something else, you know, I need to focus on my happiness. And for some, maybe that's caused a problem in the past. So, because it's all about ambition and you know, a desire to move forward, and the work is coming up on these cards. Now, did I separate those cards or not? Anyway, it works out the way it's meant to. But there is luck around that. So there's luck around focusing, paying attention to detail, maybe working, maybe that's about working more hours or something, and in the past that's caused a problem, whether it's the feminine or the masculine. But there's good luck around that, you know. There's this is like serendipitous moments, so there will be a shift and some luck around this situation. And even though there's been an argument, you know, it might not be such a bad outcome. And this can be a contract. I did say there was something about a business, so for maybe some of you that it's shown up as a business contract, a business partner, because I just said earlier this new moon's all about business, new businesses, new ventures, and it feels like somebody's stuck or worried about money, but their heart's not in it and they want to do something different. But yeah, there's some news or contract of some sort to do with this King of Swords, and it's very good news to do with work, because the clover's there. But this is the nervous energy here and something from the past. So and that was to do with an event. That was to do with an event that happened. Because on its own it stands for an event where somebody felt humiliated or embarrassed, something like that. So was it something somebody said and didn't mean to say it, and then they didn't get their facts right, and so they feel a bit humiliated at an event? That could be anything to do with work or a social gathering, or to do with an invitation that caused an argument. Maybe the feminine read the situation differently, because remember the personal myths. But there is change, you see, and the change comes going within and tuning in and following the astrological guidance and cycles of the next step. And but it is only the next step, so it's not about looking at the big picture. It's just to bring change, to create change. It's just about taking the next step, they're saying. It's not looking at the whole picture, because they're not going to show it you anyway. I've noticed that in the readings, that they're not showing everything, and they're not, because they don't want to. They want you to have free will. They want you to have free will, so they're not showing everything. They want you to become stronger because of that, because you need to make the decisions for yourself. You're not going to be told. And there's something around a choice, making a different choice. And this is something really important, something that's, you know, rock solid. But it can also represent the subconscious, because it's so connected to water. But yeah, so something really important, this separation or this issue that needs to be worked on, is really important, and you know, maybe a big obstacle to get through, to get your happiness. You know, to get your happiness, you're gonna need to be wise about it. Like I was saying, they're not going to show you everything. You've got to work it out for yourself. You've got to be that detective. because this is about wisdom. You need to use your wisdom around, you know, gaining a wish, but having a wish granted. Sometimes it's not about telling everything about your plans. Sometimes you need to keep things to your chest and wait patiently, maybe. That can also be a child representing a child, so that can be a situation around a child. But yeah, this is such good news. This is, because it's a star, it's like a domestic wish, or a wanting something either around a child, or a message from this King of Swords for some of you, because it is a general reading. So yeah, well, this king of, which is the Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, him being in reverse in the shadow form, yeah, he's the one, you know, he will play tricks to manipulate to get what he wants, because that's what it is. Or you need to be cunning around this particular person, but it is usually somebody that has money, that's worked hard for it. And remember the night here in the full moon, go back and watch that if you haven't watched it. There's something crafty going on there, sly going on there with him. But let's get some cards out on where are we doing for time? Oh yeah, what's the time? Yeah, let's get some cards out on the King of Swords and the heart of the matter. So the King of Swords, very strong masculine energy. Well, that's to do with venture, and I was talking about new business partners, and he does show up when it's like that. So somebody that could advise you well, and it is next to the Eight of Coins, which is about working hard towards something, a goal of some sort. And this is about being proactive, you know, being proactive, ventures, waiting like for your ship to come in, but getting on with things, you know, working hard, being focused, because this is very much around projects. Yeah, but there is going to be some news. Oh, and there we go, we've got the Two of Cups. So there is going to be some news, and it's to do with partnership. So just depends what sort of partnership it is, whether it's business or personal, or whether it might start off business wise, because this is about being proactive. It might start off business wise, and maybe there's a potential for it to develop into something else. That would take the burden away. Being in partnership would take this burden away, because that's the results, and you don't want that as a result. But that's also, the 10 is like completion. You've by joining forces with somebody, either emotionally or business, you know, it lessens this energy. You've reached your goal. Because this is like burnout, because you're just not delegating, and you're people pleasing, and not being able to say no, because you want to be liked, or you know, it's that sort of energy, or because you're not just a nice person. But that by joining forces with somebody, and there's news about that, a contract, it will be different for different people. You know, you reach your goal, because that's about reaching a goal, but this is also about oppression. So maybe you need a partnership to be able to reach your goal, your heart's desire. Let's see what the heart of the matter says for this new moon. In Cancer. Oh, and with the heart of the matter actually shows the Chariot in reverse. It's the yin and the yang on here. It's still the black and the white, and being ambitious. And so this could represent a person, because they're nervous, they're holding on too tightly, they don't have the confidence to tap into this energy. They don't have the confidence, they lack confidence, and hence why they're sitting there, and they're not on the right path. They're not on the right path. To do with this king of coins here. So they're not on the right path. They're holding on too tightly, because it's around a new beginning, a fresh start. And this is actual spiritual as well. This comes under spirituality. This is about taking a leap of faith. This King of Pentacles, I think he's the one that's holding on to the money and being a bit crafty about not wanting to share or to support or help somebody else, and that's why there's nervousness around that. But he needs to take charge, because he's coming from the subconscious. He's coming from the subconscious. He's fearful of a new beginning, because this could be your potential partner. You might not have met them yet. For those of you that are single, might not have met them yet, and it's something that they're working through because of a choice that they've made, and they might not think, because it's a very ambitious card. Like I say, it'll be different for everybody. But right, let's have a look, see what the romance angels want to say. Most important messages, please. I think it was red flags on the other one. So, you know, they're saying there are romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So maybe you've had some doubts, like I was saying, because of this personal myth, the personal stories that you've been telling yourself, and maybe, you know, coming from fear and having doubts. If you have met somebody, you could be feeling that way. But they're saying, you know, do explore your feelings. They are real, or do explore your feelings. That can be, even if you think, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, this person, I'm so fed up with them, I'm so pissed off with them and angry with them, that, you know, or this situation to do with this person. So that can be owning your feelings also. And you know, because they're saying there's a reconciliation, but it's usually to do with unfinished business. But that can also, because it's Cancer, it covers family. So this might not be romantic for everybody. This could be to do with a member of the family. So it could be somebody close to you, or something happening in a member of your family. But the purpose of the reconciliation is to heal feelings, you know, because they're saying they are worth exploring. And for some, you just, you know, it depends. For some, it's there you go, codependency is around it. And those issues, because I was saying about the unconscious right at the beginning, and, you know, sometimes the readings show you what you don't want to see, but you need to see to be able to create your happy ever after. And it's saying to use your wisdom here, because it's something really important. Something to do with the separation was really important, and not to just dismiss it. And there is a reconciliation on the card. Someone from your past is returning to your life. That could be anybody, but the purpose of it is because there's unfinished business. So either there was romantic feelings and it didn't come to fruition because of an argument or something that happened, or it, you know, you need to talk about something that's around codependency. So you can't have them sweep it under the carpet. Maybe it's something to do with this King of Swords, because of the Hermit here, that brings change. Somebody going within and reflecting, then comes with a wish, which is right next to the wish fulfilled card. You know, seeing the light, longevity, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and this change brings longevity. So we're talking about significant relationships here, something that would be long term. But the codependency and any addictions around this, which that Four of holding on emotionally can be, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So they need to be looked at and worked through as to what's going on there. Let's just see what the angels want to say. Sometimes you've got to work through stuff, because if you don't work through it with the partner that you're with, you're only going to have to do it with the next one. So is it really worth it? You know, you could be working it out. And they're just confirming about the focus, because this is very much keep your focus on balance, keep your focus on, be disciplined, your mind and your feelings, about moving forward and about removing these obstacles, which the codependency and the addictions that need to be looked at, whether it's drinks, drugs, sex, whatever it is. It can be anything. Addictions can be anything. You know, keep your focus on what it is that you do want, not what you don't want. Remember the stories. So focus on what it is that you do want. And let's see what these cards want to say. You know, because it's all about focusing your mind, being able to focus your mind at will. You know, the Magician's wand is there, which is about manifesting. And focus on what it is that you do want, and just keep focused on it and keep moving forward with it. Don't allow doubt to enter into the picture, is what they're saying. And they're saying to rise above the problems, which is what I was saying there, really. That's what I sensed on this occasion. Because there is unfinished business, there's something that needs to be sorted out, because maybe there's something you need to be doing together in the future. And they're saying rise above the problems, and that's the same for the Chariot. It's about moving through adversity, removing obstacles, and that would be an obstacle, rather than, you know, look at it. And that's what that Scorpio new moon or full moon, was it? I can't remember, was on about. It was saying, you know, go deep, and yes, it's scary, but go deep and take a look. If you want to pause your video and ask your question now. What is the time? Let's see if we can. A year from now. We've had this one come up before, and at the bottom it's up to you. So it's up to you. So maybe a year from now, because it's within this year, so 2017. Maybe it'll take that time to sort this out, if you're in a relationship, or if it's somebody from the past, because the Two of Cups here was in reverse, which, you know, that's about a separation and then a reconciliation for those of you that are. But it's saying within a year from now your heart's desire will happen. And it is up to you. It's up to you, I suppose, depending on what work you want to put into it, because relationships require work. Let's just see what Archangel Michael wants to say on this occasion. Take your time making this decision. So that was because of, I feel that was about that there. Yeah, take your time making this decision. Let's see if I can find it, because I don't feel I want to. You've asked about a situation where there's confusion or indecision, and this card is a sign that you shouldn't rush into anything, which is what I was saying there. She was saying, no, you know, I'm not being rushed. Because there's codependency that needs to be worked through. Card is saying that you shouldn't rush into anything. More information will be revealed as time passes. Remember, we've got a year from now, within this year. More information will be revealed as time passes, which will naturally guide your actions. There's no need to force anything right now. The opportunity won't go away if you don't jump on it immediately. So whether that's a work situation or a business situation. And others will wait for you. If your decision and your best course of action is to slow down and take your time. So don't worry. Don't sign the contract. Remember the contract there. These are the things that it could be. Don't sign the contract just yet. Negotiate a better deal. Slow down the speed of a new relationship. So for those of you that it will be new, ask more questions before saying yes. Investigate your options and alternatives. Don't be pressured by other people as they're only thinking of themselves. Okay, I think that is a very good message on this occasion. And we just end with Whispers of Love. Very strong message from Archangel Michael. Turn on your heart light. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on times when you experience love. So again, you know, what is it you choose? What do you want to focus on? They're saying to focus on, put your focus on turning on your heart light. Focus on what experiences you have had and not rewrite the stories of, you know, your personal miss is what they're saying, I feel, with that one. So there we go. I hope that helps. Oh, I was just going to read the thing. I do with that one, don't I? Have we got time? Yeah. Hello. Thinking of loving moments will enable you to open your heart, because it's all about opening your heart, because they're shut down there. Taking time to draw the female, taking time to draw on a memory of love reopens and heals your heart to receiving love. And that's what I was saying about the Manchester bombing, and then they did the Manchester love, you know, One Love concert, which, you know, then they've got those good memories to focus on. It is important to keep your heart light on and broadcast your love out into the world, and that is the most important message. A challenge, I'm sure, but yes. Okay then, I hope that helps. Please like, share and subscribe. I'm not sure which direction my life is going at the moment. So whether I'll be back with the July readings, I'm not too sure. I'm waiting on confirmation for that, as to maybe my path going in a different direction. If not, I will see you back here in July. But I'll let you know either way. Okay then, please like, share and subscribe. I think I've already said that. It's your gift back to me. I need to keep focused. And lots of love. Namaste.